What's poppin', skid marks? Too far, Keisha, too far. It's your girl, Keisha, a.k.a. Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Summer House Martha's Vineyard Season 1, Episode 6 review. Let's get right into it, you guys. So, we pick up where we left off with Jasmine giving her Oscar-worthy performance about struggling in her marriage and balancing her female friendships. Baby, Jordan face was like, Jordan was not having it. Like, Jordan was looking at her like, girl, if you don't stop. I honestly feel like she was kind of emotionally manipulating Jordan because she knew that she had overstepped her boundaries earlier with her. And I feel like she tried to do reverse psychology where she became the victim. And therefore, Jordan was like, you know, girl, we love you. We're here for you. Da 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 da. And now everything can go back to normal. Something about that just wasn't all the way, I don't want to say genuine to me, but it just seemed a little performative to me. So Jordan was like, you know, things have shifted and that's not a bad thing. It's just because we've known you so differently. So Bria in her confessional says Jasmine feeling isolated from her friends is something she did to herself. I feel like she was isolating herself maybe because we're not married. You know, when I get married, I'm still going to be the same crazy Bria. My sentiments, exactly. This is like one of the first times that I've agreed with Bria this whole season thus far. Jasmine did this to herself. She's put herself on this island by herself on this pedestal and start looking at everybody else like, you whores, you're not married. I don't know what to do with you. You need Jesus. I got to find you a man ASAP. It's like, girl, calm down. So Jason ends up giving his long-winded speech, child, and Bria was like, okay, spit it out. Child, I was like, oh my God, you are not Phil Donahue. Be quiet. So the next day, Jason tells Silas that he was telling Jasmine that her transparency really helped, you know, the house. So Silas was like, you know, yeah, I told her how proud I was that she actually kept it real with her girls. And Jasmine was like, yeah, because I'm afraid to do that with my female friends. How is the person that's always in everybody else's business and so willing to give everybody else advice afraid to talk to them about the things that she's going through or keeping it real with them? Girl, you are not afraid to keep it real with them. You forever keeping it real and being all up in people's faces in business that they tell you to back up because you do too much. I feel like, once again, Jasmine tries to paint herself like a victim, like she's, like people are doing stuff to her, you know, like she's not included. And it's like a whole nother reality going on. So Jasmine ends up talking to Jordan and tells her that, you know, in the future, she just needs for her friends to check on her like she checks on them. And I don't really think it's a thing where they don't check on that girl. I really honestly don't. I just think that she's finding something to play victim. That's just the way I see it, child. So Shanice returns. And I must say, I like Shanice. Shanice is a turn-up queen. I like her. We need that rambunctious energy going throughout the house. We need a wild card in this group. So turns out that Jason liked her in the past and she had no idea. Now, I don't know if he still like her, but he liked her in the past. Alex speaks to her and she speaks back, but she, on the inside, she says that she's happy that Bria told her that, you know, he knows about this alleged stalking incident and how he was talking about it in the house to other people. So we then find out in Bria's confessional that she and Shanice did OnlyFans together. And I was like, oh, so y'all just out here. Y'all are just out here. Okay. She said that they didn't show skin or do anything sexual. It was just like bikini pics and sexy pics like that. And to each his own. So Summer sees Milo pooped on the floor. And she goes and tells like Silas or somebody. And Silas then walks past Bria's room to Preston's room and says that he wants to call a house meeting about it. And Preston was like, I'm not having another house meeting about nothing. because I'm sick of it. And so Silas was like, well, are you going to be the one to tell her? And Preston was like, in his confessional, Silas is walking past Bria's door in order to get to my door when you clearly could have just knocked on her door. Like, make it make sense. Are you that scared of her? And I can understand with Silas not wanting to be the bad guy once again when it comes to Bria, but okay, your dog pooped on the floor. It's nothing for you to just knock on the door and say, hey, your dog pooped, can you go get it up? Like, Silas does too much for me. He's annoying as I don't know what. So in the midst of them going back and forth about this, Alex just literally goes and tell Bria, and she goes and gets it up. So the girls have an indoor spa day, and Jasmine asks Jordan again for the 50 millionth time about if she likes Amir. Like, how many ways does she have to tell you she don't like that man? Does she have to say it to you in French? Does she have to say it in Korean? Hashi mamata shakada. Like, how many more ways does she have to tell you she don't like that man? Like, how many more times are you going to ask her and trying to hook people up in this house? Leave people alone. They grown. This is not summer camp. This is not sleepaway camp. Calm down, Jasmine. You are annoying. Oh my God. So Jasmine was like, well, guys, Alex is still up for grabs. Oh my God. So Shanice was like, Alex isn't my type at all. It just feels different because of my ex, because, you know, him knowing about everything that happened. She says in her confessional that her ex lied on her, this, that, and the third, but she admitted that she did call him repeatedly, but okay. So Summer was like, well, what does this have to do with Alex? And Shanice was like, because he Googled me. I'm like, just ask me. And Jazz was like, well, we need to address this. We need to address because it's just going to fester on. Like, it ain't nothing to even address. What is there to address? He Googled her. He saw that she was an alleged stalker. Why would she care whether or not he believes it or not? Jasmine is trying to play producer, and it's annoying. Like, I just want to thump her in her forehead. So the guys and girls have separate nights out. The guys are together, and Silas is like, you know, we talk about what we talk about at the table stays at the table, right? So they was like, yeah. So he was like, well, part of being on vacation means your routine is off. I'm used to the routine where she makes us breakfast. I'm operating in my regular routine, and I feel like she's on vacation mode. Because you are on vacation. Nick was like, so to sum everything up, where is my breakfast? And I'm exactly Nick. Nick stay on Silas' neck, and I'm here for it. So Silas was like, I mean, like the sandwich from earlier, it came out a little more toastier than necessary. I could have made breakfast, but that's not our routine. Well, if you don't want your breakfast sandwiches in the morning to be burnt, then like you said, make your own breakfast, sir. And then you won't have these problems. Like, he literally is one of these men where he feels like the woman is supposed to cook, clean, and suck, and just be quiet and be cute and have her mouth and her legs wide open for him when necessary. If you don't get your Luigi, Michelangelo, Ninja Turtle looking self on somewhere, like, you too funny looking to have all of these demands, sir. Like, have you looked at yourself in the mirror? Like, literally, have you looked at yourself in the mirror? You just not pulling women left and right. You're not. No. You need to be thanking your lucky stars every day you got a woman to like you. Because nobody else is checking for you but Jasmine. Because to be honest with you, ain't nobody checking for her. But anywho, I ain't the one to gossip. You ain't heard that from me. So Jason was like, you just got married. Why don't y'all relax until y'all new normal before y'all start coming up with an effing routine? So Silas then asked Jason what is his type in a woman. And Silas was like, you know, somebody that's, you know, this, that, and the third. And here goes Silas doing what his wife does. They both meddle in other people's lives and business and think they know everything. Thompson, you're so nice. And you know that it's true that nice guys finish last. And Jason was like, you know, well, I know I'm an attractive guy. And I was like, talk your shit. Talk your shit. Like, I would have been like, your ugly ass can't tell me nothing about dating. So he was like, people see I got green eyes, and if I wear my emotions on my sleeve, then I'm a bee. It's all these different things that I have had to overcome in life. So Silas was like, well, if you listen too much, you wouldn't get any PUSSY. Every one of these single women have something going on. If you buy into that too much, you can F anybody. I don't even know what that means, first of all, but shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You don't even know how to have sex with all that jackhammering you do on that poor woman's vagina. Shut it up. So Jason in his confession was like, I just had a child. You thought I was going to be effing? I'm dealing with consequences of having a good time right now. Like, I need for you to be cognizant of what's going on around you. Ain't nobody thinking about having sex right now, and I got a 3-month-old at home. Like, duh. But he one of them men where him and Jasmine gonna have kids, and he's gonna be the type that won't change a diaper. That's not his thing. That's for the woman to do. So meanwhile, the girls are having a ball. They twerking, turning up, drinking, acting a fool. 2 women end up sending drinks over to the guy's table, and look at who takes the drink. Silas is about to chug a lug it, and they was like, girlfriend, remember, you can't accept drinks when you're in a relationship or married. And he just, and in this instant, Nick notices that this man ain't even got his wedding ring on, and he gonna lie and say that he took it off when he was like washing his hands or something like that, and he forgot to put it back on. Lying ass. You took your ring off because y'all was having a guy's night out and you wanted to appear single. Jasmine, you better check your husband and check your surroundings, because he's trying to isolate you and put you under his thumb. Meanwhile, he'll be able to rip and run the streets and do whatever he wants to do, because he's the head of the household and because he's the one that pays all the bills. Because he made a comment earlier when she was getting dressed about how he liked her dress and said, he was like something about, did I buy that? And I think she said, yeah. He was like, I bought all of them. So it's obvious that she's a stay-at-home wife that gets to, write and do her little thing, but he's the one that's taking care of the bills. Girl, get your own job and have your own money, because he is going to dictate every single thing that you do. He ain't. And I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't cheated. Wouldn't be surprised at all. That's why he stay on your neck so bad, because he don't want you doing what he doing. So the girls, minus Jordan, are outside the club falling all over themselves, twerking on the handstand, doing backflips and all types of stuff. So they get back to the crib, and Bria and Shanice are turning up. They go skinny dipping and everything. The guys return back to the house, see that the girls is kicking it. Now, I don't know if at this point Bria and Shanice got redressed or what. I think that they might have. But Nick whispers to Silas to go get his wedding ring. So he runs upstairs and goes and gets it and puts it back on. So Jasmine says that she doesn't care to know if women were around them. Like, because Silas in the kitchen asking Summer, was it dudes around them and this, that, and the third. Like, why do you care? Mister, I ain't wear my wedding ring out to the club tonight or out to the bar. Boy, bye. So Bria goes inside, and Shanice takes off her bikini top, and we see her get out of the hot tub with no bottoms on. So she's fully naked and jumps into the pool. Now, when she took her top off, Jason was eyeing her like, is this really happening? Oh, it's happening. So he eyeing her the whole time. Simon in that moment did not look at that girl not one time. He was not even paying her no mind, no attention. But at the same time, that is inappropriate. It is so inappropriate to be butt ass naked in front of men that are in a relationship regardless. Okay. If you want to be free and naked around single men, you have that choice if that's what you choose to do with your body. But to be fully naked in front of a married man or a man in a relationship, I just think that it's totally disrespectful. And this is your homegirl man, and he done seen you inside and out. Like, that's too much. So Nick says to Amir that Ish was funny when I noticed he didn't have his wedding ring on. And Amir was like, on the first guy's night, come on. So they peeping game about Silas. Silas ain't no good. So Bria returns and sees that Shanice is naked. So she goes back in the house and tells Silas and Summer that she's outside naked in front of Simon. So Summer was like, of course she is. So Summer don't see it for Shanice. I don't know if this has anything to do with Alex and the fact that Alex and Shanice liked Alex at first. I don't know, but that's what it was given, or either she just didn't like Shanice. I don't know. So Bria goes back outside and says to Shanice, so you got naked in front of my man? And Shanice was like, huh? And Bria was like, huh? Yeah, you all are fake. So she then gets mad at everybody, calling everybody in the house fake because they didn't tell her to put her clothes back on. Girl, what we supposed to do? She a grown woman. Like, we can't whoop her. Like, what? And at the end of the day, that's your homegirl. That's your friend. So Simon goes inside and was like, what's going on? So Bria was like, go upstairs. If you go outside, you're getting out of this effing house. And so he's standing there looking like, what in the black expo is going on? Like, what did I do? So Summer says, Shanice, if she was naked in front of someone, you'd be upset. And Shanice was like, but I asked him. First of all, the fact that you asking your girlfriends, your friends, man, is it okay if I take my top and bottom off in front of you? That could come across like you trying to, entice him, turn him on, flirting with him. Like, girl, read the room. Like, what? So Jordan was like, I'm so over this ish. Like, she's so tired of everybody arguing. So Silas tells Jasmine about the drinks that they got from other women when they was out. But he failed to mention that he didn't have his ring on. So she says it's punishment that they have to go have sex in the closet. He was like, no. And she was like, but why? He was like, okay. They go in the closet, and even in the closet, it's I'm like, girl, he is not beating it up that good. I know it's dry. Ain't no foreplay, ain't no nothing, child. It's just dry. I know you got a rash. Girl, ooh, God, please stop having sex. So the next day, Bria tells Simon everybody's getting chewed out by her. So she talks to everybody in the house about what Shanice did. And she get mad when don't nobody take the bait and want to confront her with her. So Preston was like, a lot of the arguments in the house, not that you started them, but you've been in the middle of them. And Bria was like, people are doing things to me. And Preston was like, no, you're not the common denominator in any of this. And Bria was like, no. And I'm like, girl, delusional you are. Delusional, girl. You're the main problem in all of this. And I was so happy Preston said that to her, because it's like, girl, if you don't get somewhere and sit down. So Shanice invites Alex to go play tennis, and so he can see a different side of her. What, girl? Who is Alex? He ain't Nelson Mandela. Why you trying to get this man to like you or accept you? Girl, who is he? He don't even know who he is, except for John Legend's cousin. Ooh-wee, who can't sing. Girl, bye. So Summer tells Jasmine that Bria isn't coming to the rose brunch that they're having. So Bria tells Simon that the roommates are fake because they're not confronting Shanice. Girl, why they gotta confront Shanice? That's your friend. You too scared to confront her? Like, what's going on? So Silas and Jason are moving a table outside, child, and he trying to mansplain how to move a table. And it's just like, if you don't sit down somewhere. So they looking at him like, dude, I know how to move a table. He talking so, well, as a platoon leader. Well, this ain't MASH, sir. Don't bring them back next season. Him and Jasmine need to go. So back upstairs in their room, Silas says, what happened outside, leaving your husband to look like he's trying to dictate things. It seems like to me, you didn't care if I look like that. Boo-boo, that's what you were trying to do, dictate things. And Jasmine was like, that's where you're tripping. And she get up and walk away because even she's sick of him. And I was like, thank God. So Alex tell Jordan that she looking thick, and she ain't know how to take that. I think that she felt like he was calling her fat. I really honestly do. So Alex was like, when we got in this house, it felt like they were assigning you a person. And Jordan was like, who? And he says, Amir. And I supported them in that. It was a disservice to everybody else because no one else is getting to know each other. AKA, I wanted to holler at you. Okay, if that's the point, if that's the case, why you just ain't holler at her? y'all kids, like, y'all need to grow up. So Jordan was like, I thought I was clear that I'm not hooking up with anybody. Like, how many more ways she got to tell you people she ain't saying it for none of y'all? So everybody at the table preparing for this rosé brunch, and Shanice decides to come out on the balcony with no top on and her glass of rosé, talking about, hey, everybody. And they look up and they looking like, is this girl playing? Like, it was a joke, obviously, but Jasmine at this point was like, I ain't okay with that. Like, like, she doing too much. And I agree. Like, I understand it was supposed to be a joke, but at the end of the day, there's a married man there and somebody else in a relationship. Like, just, what are you doing? Like, calm down, simmer it down, girl. You ain't even got no titties to be exposing, looking like a little boy by the chest. Girl, stay out somewhere. Whew. But overall, I thought that the episode was quite good. Overall, I'm going to give this week's episode of Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, an A-. An A-. I'm really liking this show. I'm really digging it, and I hope you guys are too. Let me know down below in the comments section what you guys thought. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.